I am a plain housewife, and most of my everyday routine is spent at home. Aside from taking care of my husband and my two children, I cook food, wash the dishes, do laundry, clean the house, and budget our finances. These are the things that become so mundane to me. Meanwhile, my husband works at a corporate company as a supervisor. His income is enough to sustain his family of four, and I'm content with the finances that we have because we can buy what we need and have extra for our wants. Every day, I spend most of my time in these four walls. Every time my children go to school and my husband goes to work, I'm just all alone here. Yes, it's kind of boring. However, I drew a sense of purpose and value in my lifestyle. As a full-time mom and wife, I have got to be present for my family and provide them with the care and love that they deserve. And with that, I'm already content. But just in every typical marriage, misunderstandings come and go. Fights are inevitable, but I always believe that these instances should strengthen the relationship, not the other way around. I can still remember one of the major fights my husband and I had. It was during our anniversary when he forgot about the special day. I waited for him to invite me or take me out to dinner, but he didn't. His reasons were that he forgot that he was busy. Of course, I won't believe it. I know him all too well. I could easily notice he was lying. But the next day, his co-worker told me that he went out early and even booked a hotel room. He thought it was for us to celebrate our anniversary. It turns out that he didn't. I was suspicious about it. But I shrugged it off because perhaps it wasn't him at all, or his co-worker was just trolling me. I'm being naive, but I think it is best this way to avoid a fight between us. And after all, he was genuinely sorry about it and he made it up to me. He took me out for a dinner date and we celebrated our anniversary a day late. He gave me a new phone and bag and I was so happy about it. However, I had always believed that my marriage to John was unbreakable. We had built a life together, sharing countless memories and dreams. But as naive as I want to be, I couldn't help but notice the changes in our relationship. My husband seemed distant, preoccupied, and I couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. One time, while we were having dinner, he couldn't pay attention to the food or to my son who was narrating his camping experience. "Dad, are you listening? I said the crocodiles were friendly." That was the third time my son called out for his dad's attention. But he was busy texting someone on his phone that he even smiles every chance he gets. "Hey, honey, Miko is talking to you." I held his arm and thank God he was able to go back to his senses.
What is it?"
I could sense the annoyance in his voice as he was so angry because I held him and disturbed him from what he was doing. "Daddy, let's come back to my camping site. It was so nice there. The crocodiles are so good." My husband just gave him a blunt smile. He doesn't care at all.
"Sure."
That was his only response, nothing else, and he proceeded to his phone. What is wrong with him? I confronted him later that night, but he just replied with,
"It's work. I'm busy. The company has a problem. That's why I couldn't get my focus out of my phone. It's very important. For fuck's sake, why are you being so nosy?"
I was so shocked by the way he responded to me. I never heard him scold me so loudly. He has always been so patient with me, and now he yelled at me? And if it's a problem, why is he smiling? I knew something was not right, because every time I try to hold his phone, it becomes muscle memory for us reflexes to hide it immediately. Late nights in front of the computer became more frequent, and he grew defensive whenever I innocently asked what he was doing online. I'm suspicious that he was having an affair. At first, I brushed it off as the typical challenges that come with long-term relationships. We both had busy schedules. and stress could sometimes create distance between us. But as the days turned into weeks and weeks into months, my concerns grew. These are days that he won't come home. He won't answer my calls, even if he was holding it all the time. And every time we're together, he keeps his attention on his phone alone. It was subtle at first, just a hint of a change in his behavior, but as time went by, it became worse. And this time, I know I'm certain that he is having an affair. What was he hiding? Who was he talking to behind my back? The questions consumed me, and I couldn't escape the feeling that there was another woman in his life. I tried to consult my friends, ask for advice, and whatnot, and surprisingly, all of them said that my gut feeling must be right, and they told me that I should investigate. So I did. Late at night, I would stay up scrolling through his phone when he was fast asleep. At first, it felt wrong to invade his privacy like that, but I needed to know the truth. I hope he also felt wrong when he was cheating on me and texting other girls. These are just my suspicions, but I know I'm right. And then I found it. Good thing I knew his passcode, his birthday. The combination was so easy after 2 attempts. I covered my mouth out of shock after I read the messages he had with a woman. Naughty texts, naughty pictures, naughty emojis. My heart sank as I read their intimate words. The evidence was right in front of me, undeniable and devastating. Lucas was having an affair. I couldn't even believe what other things I read. The mistress even said that, "Don't come home to your boring wife, come here, and I'll give you some heat and excitement." Ew! I just saw a picture of your wife. She's so ugly and fat. She looks like a whale. You don't look good together. Just leave her alone and your kid. You have me anyway, and that is enough. I won't give you a hard time, just a good one. It appears like he has been with this woman for quite some time now. They even booked numerous hotels at different times and did the deed. I couldn't believe this. I captured the conversation using my phone. The tears came down like a waterfall as I confronted him, hoping against hope that it was all just a terrible misunderstanding. I woke him up by shaking him, and he did. "How could you do this to me, Lucas? How could you betray our marriage?" I shouted out of frustration. He just smirked at me and didn't even bother to get out of bed.
Oh, please. It's not like you were ever exciting or satisfying enough for me.
My eyes widened, shocked by his callous response. I could feel my knees weakening. "I gave you my love, my trust, and this is how you repay me? With insults and indifference? Aren't you even ashamed of yourself? You have a son." He just laughed.
You are so predictable, Hera. I needed someone who could excite me, someone who knows how to have fun.
My anger grew, while my voice was trembling.
This is not about me, Lucas. This is about your lack of respect, commitment to our marriage. You chose to betray me, to destroy what we had. Oh, please, stop with the melodrama. We both know our marriage was dead long before I could find someone better. You may think you found someone better, but it's just a matter of time before she sees through your lies and realizes who you truly are.
He continued smirking, not affected by anything at all.
She's everything you're not, Hera. Exciting and passionate, and she understands me. You are holding me back.
I took a deep breath, trying to maintain my composure. If you're so convinced that you found the perfect match, then why did you hide it? Why did you sneak around betraying my trust?
Because I didn't want to deal with your dramatic reactions. You're always so uptight and boring. I needed an escape.
I wiped off my tears as my eyes filled with determination as I looked directly at my husband.
Well, you won't find an escape from the consequences of your actions. I deserve better than this, Lucas. I deserve respect, loyalty, and love. And I will find it elsewhere.
He just smirked at me for the third time, feeling no remorse for his actions. I could feel my anger building up. I couldn't believe I tried to stay in this relationship with a jerk like him.
Good luck finding someone who can tolerate your dull existence, Hera.
I will find happiness again without you.
As you should. Now let's have a divorce. Don't worry. I'll be paying for everything. I just want you out of my life forever.
His words were like a dagger to my heart. I couldn't fathom how our once loving relationship had spiraled into this. The pain and humiliation were unbearable, compounded by his insults that I was boring and his new girlfriend was the best thing that ever happened to him. I didn't bother to respond to him nor give him the satisfaction of crying and acting like I was losing, so I left him. I woke my son up and decided to leave the house as soon as possible. But amidst the devastation, a spark of determination ignited within me. I refused to be a victim in my own life. I had glimpsed a different side to Lucas, one I didn't recognize, and I knew there was more to this affair than met the eye. Morning came and I was able to deal with rent in an apartment owned by my good friend. My son and I stayed there and we were starting from scratch. I told my son about everything. I became honest with him and told him that I will never leave nor betray him. 3 months passed, and during that time, the news of my husband and I splitting up spread across town and to our family and friends. On top of that, he let his mistress move into our house. The audacity! That house was a product of our combined efforts and hard work, and just like that, he will let another girl live there while his son was here renting a small apartment? He is such a bad person. Aside from that, our divorce has finally been approved and I am now a free woman. I won't let my life and my son's life be decided by a broken marriage, so I worked hard to sustain our needs. However, I also came to know the name of the woman, Kathy Rickson. I have always been so curious about her because she and my husband only met online. And my husband is a middle-aged man. And how could she ruin a family? I know that this calls for the bad behavior and the personality of my husband as well, but it takes two to tango. So I began to dig deeper, searching online for any trace of the other woman. I searched her name on every social media site that exists on the internet. There has to be answers out there, some indication of who she was. The late nights turned into hours spent poring over social media profiles, searching for any connection that could reveal her true identity, but there was none. However, as I dig for more information, I saw an account named Catherine Rickson with the same profile picture as hers. I opened the account and even stalked for more information. From the photos to posts that could feed up my curiosity. And then I came to stumble upon a picture that provoked a sudden nervousness in me. A picture of her with a man holding hands. The picture looks like they're in a relationship. So I stalked the man, and to my surprise, they're married, and just recently, and by recently it means 2 days ago, the husband posted about their anniversary, and Kathy even replied with a sweet message.
What the actual fuck is happening?
I stalked more until I knew that her husband thought Kathy is in a different country working, but in fact she was just right here ruining our lives. My suspicions were confirmed. She was using my husband for financial gain and stability. The betrayal cut deep. But it also fueled a fire within me. I couldn't let them get away with their deceit. What a twist. I even saw my husband posting a picture of them saying,
"I finally have the best soon-to-be wife." I almost threw up as I read the text.
They're just fooling themselves. And then I realized this is the best time to start my revenge. With a newfound sense of purpose, I reached out to the legal husband of the woman who had betrayed me. So I contacted him online and I gave him a direct message. I am Hera, and I need to tell you something that I have discovered about your wife, Catherine.
What is it? What have you found out?
Your wife, Catherine, she's having an affair. She's been with my husband, Lucas, for a long time already. They're both living together, and we just had our divorce.
Are you sure? This can't be true.
I have evidence, conversations, and proof of their deceit. She's been using him, taking advantage of his resources and money while still being married to you.
How could she do this? How could she betray our vows, our marriage?
I know the pain you must be feeling. I have experienced it too. But we can't let them get away with this. We need to expose their lies and deceit.
You're right. We can't let them destroy us. We must join forces and bring them to justice.
We need to gather all the evidence we have, present it to the authorities, and ensure that they face the consequences of their actions.
I'll do whatever it takes. We won't let them walk away from the pain they have caused. They need to learn that their actions have serious consequences.
Together, we formed an unlikely alliance, determined to expose the truth and seek justice. As we planned our revenge, a mix of nerves and determination coursed through my veins. I have heard confirmed news that they are expecting a baby, and there will be a baby shower happening within the month. Well, a seemingly innocent event, a perfect way to orchestrate our revenge. As I went about my daily routine, I couldn't shake off this nagging feeling that something was amiss in my marriage. It started with small hints, an unanswered phone call here, a secretive smile there, but as time went on, those hints morphed into a sinister suspicion that my husband Lucas was having an affair. I felt sorry for my son. He doesn't deserve this kind of experience. He was good, and he deserves a family, a father, that will never hurt nor betray him. At first, I brushed it off as paranoia, unwilling to believe that the man I had built my life with would betray me in such a way. But as days turned into weeks, my unease grew stronger. There were subtle changes in my husband's behavior, like him being overly protective of his phone, always ensuring it was within arm's reach or locked with a new passcode. All of these I thought were just delusions, but they're real. And here I am, betrayed and lied upon. I didn't succumb to my husband's treachery because I know my worth and my son's worth. I fought for what is right, and now I will have my revenge. Uninvited, Rex and I went to the baby shower. Everyone was so shocked to see me, and even my husband's reaction was in full confusion. And by the time the mistress saw her husband, she panicked. She couldn't sit steadily. My husband was about to stop me when I shrugged his arms and continued walking to the front. The guests were whispering to each other, murmuring words that I don't even care what. I took a deep breath, steadied myself, and walked towards the stage where a large screen awaits. The murmurs of the guests started to fade as they noticed my presence, sensing something unexpected was about to unfold. I took the microphone, my voice projecting throughout the room. "Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention, please." The room fell into silence, all eyes fixed on me, Rex, including Lucas and Kathy, who exchanged confused and anxious glances.
Today is a day of celebration, but it's also a day of truth. I stand here before you all to expose a secret that has been hidden in the shadows for far too long.
The guests leaned in. Their curiosity was piquing, while my husband and his mistress began to grow increasingly uncomfortable. I turned to Kathy and smiled at her mockingly.
"Kathy, dear, would you mind coming up here, please?"
She hesitated, a mix of fear and confusion on her face. Reluctantly, she walked towards me on the stage, her eyes darting around, searching for answers.
"You see, ladies and gentlemen, Kathy here isn't just another guest. She is not just a woman who stole my husband away. No, she's something else entirely. I motioned to the large screen behind her, and a video presentation began to play, revealing Kathy's true identity. Pictures, documents, and messages flashed across the screen, unraveling Kathy's deceit. I pointed at Rex, her legal husband. Kathy, tell them about your other marriage, the one you conveniently forgot to mention to my husband and your husband.
Everyone gasped as they looked at Rex. Kathy's face turned pale as the weight of her lies became apparent. Lucas stood beside her, his face a mix of shock and disbelief.
Hera, please.
No more lies, Kathy. Your secrets are out. You used my husband for money, all while being married to another man in a different country?
The room erupted in gasps and murmurs. Shock spreads across the faces of the guests, while Lucas and Kathy shrink under the weight of their deceit.
Hera, please, let's talk. I'm sorry. I never meant for things to turn out like this. You did this to yourself, Lucas. It's too late to apologize. The pain you've caused can never be undone. You both will face the consequences of your actions.
I trusted you with all my life, and I never knew you could betray me like this. You're nothing but a bad memory in my life. I'll surely forget you, but your mistakes and betrayal? No, I will never.
Kathy went down on her knees and pleaded for mercy on her husband and me. The same with Lucas. He held my hand, but I shrugged it away. I deserve better. We deserve better. As the guests whispered amongst themselves, I exited the stage, leaving the two of them behind, their expressions a mix of shame, regret, and fear. I went home that night satisfied, and as soon as I saw my son, he hugged me. The kind of hug that I know is wrapped with true love and genuine intentions. I will never associate my life with them ever again. I will focus on my son, my career, and my growth as a mother.